A criminal complaint has been filed against former Vice President Joe Biden by the Ukrainian ex-prosecutor who led the Burisma investigation and is now demanding a criminal probe of Biden. RT, among the outlets reporting on this, says former top Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shokin has filed a criminal complaint with the state authorities claiming former U.S. Vice President Joe Biden strong-armed Kiev into firing him in order to stop the Burisma investigation. In the complaint, Shokin sent to the Ukraine State Bureau of Investigations on Tuesday, the former prosecutor requests that Biden be charged with interference with the activities of a law enforcement officer. The document was obtained by the Interfax Ukraine news agency. Shokin urged the State Bureau of Investigations to kickstart a pretrial investigation into the alleged crime committed by Biden, who he claims was illegally pressuring Ukrainian officials into ousting him from office while using a $1 billion loan guarantee as leverage. Noting that Biden, in his official capacity as the second in command in the U.S. political hierarchy, repeatedly visited Ukraine in late 2015 and early 2016 to persuade high-ranking officials to remove him, Shokin argued that, quote, as a result, he curtailed an objective investigation into criminal proceedings on the facts of unlawful activities of persons associated with the company Burisma Holdings Limited, including the son of the specified high-ranking official, Biden's son Hunter, who sat on the company's board from 2014 till 2019. Shokin specifically refers to the recently released documentary series Ukraine Gate: Inconvenient Facts by French investigative journalist Olivier Berrier, which challenges the Western media claims that the corruption investigation into Burisma was dormant at the time that Biden was lobbying for Shokin's dismissal. Berrier, founder of a popular anti-corruption blog, said that he collected documents that show that the investigation into the gas company was in full swing at the time. Shokin's own words to that effect have received only a passing mention or no mention at all in mainstream U.S. media outlets. However, in a recent interview with ABC News, Shokin said that his office was handling 6 investigations into Burisma at the time of his resignation. However, ABC kept that part of the interview under wraps, leaving the American public essentially in the dark about the status of the probe. Of course, many watching have probably seen the clip of Joe Biden openly boasting at a 2018 Council on Foreign Relations event that in March of 2016 he gave then Ukrainian President Poroshenko a 6-hour deadline to fire Shokin or he would withdraw $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees. Poroshenko subsequently dismissed Shokin on April 3rd. The next day, a new prosecutor general was appointed. Biden then called Poroshenko to congratulate him and to announce that the U.S. would greenlight the aid. In Tuesday's affidavit, Shokin says that he only resigned, quote, as a result of lengthy pressure on me from U.S. Vice President Joe Biden, which included blackmail through providing financial guarantees, a reference to the $1 billion loan guarantee that the U.S. partly conditioned on Ukraine firing Shokin. Quote, as a person who puts the interests of his country above his own, I agreed to step down from the post of General Prosecutor of Ukraine, Shokin added. Shokin described his own conduct in the declaration as having a principled position towards bringing the Burisma case to a quick and objective resolution. Because of that, he claimed, quote, Joseph Biden began to have persistent, unpleasant relations towards me, resulting in both private and public statements demanding Shokin's firing in exchange for a $1 billion loan guarantee. Shokin went on in the declaration to say that, quote, the illicit influence of Joseph Biden was evidence of interfering in the activities of a law enforcement officer. Shokin demanded that Ukrainian prosecutors open a criminal investigation based off of his declaration. More info here from another new article in Kiev Post. They say that Shokin has demanded that the State Bureau of Investigations open criminal proceedings against former U.S. Vice President Joseph Biden for his illegal influence on him as the Prosecutor General of Ukraine. Quote, I ask you to register a criminal offense against me in the Unified Register of Pretrial Investigations by a U.S. citizen, Joseph Biden, which happened on the territory of Ukraine and abroad, namely, interference with the activities of a law enforcement officer, the responsibility for which is provided for in Part 2 of Article 343 of Ukraine's Criminal Code. Immediately start a pretrial investigation and give written instructions to State Bureau investigators, Shokin said in a statement to the acting SBI director delivered by Shokin's lawyers. Shokin says that Biden's actions can be considered as pressure, according to the scientific and legal conclusion of the International Law Association of April 18, 2017, provided by the current Vice President of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. The Ukrainian language version of the court filing here, while the French blog cited in Shokin's complaint gives an English version. In this court filing against Biden, Shokin also adds, owing to my firm position on the above-mentioned cases regarding their prompt and objective investigation, which should have resulted in the arrest and the indictment of the guilty parties, Joseph Biden developed a firmly hostile attitude towards me, which led him to express in private conversations with senior Ukrainian officials, as well as in his public speeches, a categorical request for the immediate dismissal from the post of Attorney General of Ukraine in exchange for the $1 billion. Shokin goes on to say, quote, after my resignation caused by illegal pressure, no active investigation into the offenses concerning the company, Burisma Holding Limited, was carried out, and therefore the persons implicated in these offenses were not identified nor arrested or charged. He further outlines how, according to the conclusions of the International Law Association from 2017, the request of the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, concerning my ousting from the post of the Attorney General of Ukraine as a condition for the granting of financial assistance is qualified as pressure, which represents interference in the international affairs of Ukraine on the part of a foreign power in violation of one of the principles of international law. Thus, the unlawful influence exerted on me as the head of a judicial structure in the country by Joseph Biden, who abused his power as the Vice President of the United States in order to prevent me from carrying out my duties as the Prosecutor General of Ukraine, thus preventing me from solving serious crimes and arresting the persons who committed those crimes, has the characteristics of the crime stipulated in Article 343, Part 2 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine. So this has been a really terrible week for Joe Biden. There's been a ton of other reports on corruption from other members of the Biden family as well, including Ashley Biden and Valerie Biden. In yesterday's video, we looked at this other new headline about Joe Biden's sister, Valerie. Biden's sister sent millions of dollars from Joe's campaign to her own consulting firm. And also a series of new reports that have just come out further detailing how Ashley Biden's nonprofit received a $166,000 grant while her dad was vice president. Regarding the upcoming election, all recent polls show that Joe Biden is in big trouble. Thanks again, everybody who has been telling others about this channel and sharing these videos. I will continue following any other big updates regarding this new criminal complaint against Joe Biden and anything else going on with the Biden family. I will follow up with more details here. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think so far. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that's greatly appreciated. And make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Also, in the video description are links to my Patreon and PayPal accounts where you can support this channel directly. Even $1 or $2 makes a huge difference, helps me keep talking about these issues. Patreon.com/realityreader or paypal.me/realityreader. I'll follow up soon. Thanks again.